the Gibson Epiphones replay band with Kaho from Faulieu and ASSUN from Trident covering another KESSOKU band song. That's the introduction. Okay, right, now we got all those details out of the way. I'm actually really excited about this one, as you can probably guess. I mean, it's no surprise that I am a bit of a Trident fan, but it's also kind of worth pointing out that I'm quite a big fan of Faulieu as well, previously known as Faulieu, and I thought Kaho, actually, one of my favourite lead guitarists, so this is a really interesting project. I've been really taken by some of their previous versions of songs. Now, obviously, we do know that when we have these Gibson Epiphone replay songs, they are done in a very raw sound because they're basically showroom songs. We're supposed to basically be hearing how good and clean the instruments sound, so we're not going to get a load of heavy production and such like. Funnily enough, the last one of these that they actually did, I couldn't do a reaction for because I had seen it premiere before it was released because I went to like a Gibson Epiphone event where ASSUN was playing and demonstrating guitars, and while we were there they previewed the new at the time new Gibson Epiphone replay band song. So as a result, the last one of these I had to skip over, so it's been a little while since I've been able to do a reaction to a new one coming out from them. Now I will say as some people may know, that when it comes to Bocchi The Rock is a series that I have a huge amount of respect for. In fact, I just realised I've got Bocchi The Rock there, I've got Trident there, and I've got Faulieu there. So I've really got the whole collection going on at the moment. Bocchi The Rock I really love, but I had pointed out before that if I'm entirely honest, I think that a lot of the KESSOKU band music in it is fairly mid. You know, it's not like, whoa, amazing. I think a lot of our love for KESSOKU band songs is mostly driven by the fact that we got context behind them and we're big KESSOKU band supporters because of the story, but the songs themselves are relatively mid. And I think they're supposed to be that way because of the fact that they are, well, they're supposed to be songs that came out from a band who have only recently got together and have not hit the big time yet. So, Shine as usual. Do I recognise that song by name? No. And we're probably going to recognise it when they start playing it? Yes. Am I going to go back and research and find out what the song is before listening to this version? No. I'm just going to dive in, listen to this version. This is the longest and most inane, boring preamble I think I've ever done for a video. So let's jump in. I am a big fan of this band. All four of them. The other two members who I believe were both involved in mocap for Bocchi The Rock. I know the bassist has a lot of online presence as well. They've both really impressed me as well. Undoubtedly their talent precedes me being impressed in them. And big fan obviously of Kaho and ASSUN especially. So I've got a lot to be excited about here. I'm interested to see how this sounds. Maybe I'll recognise the song, maybe I won't, but I definitely will be enjoying just seeing what comes up next. And yeah, I have an Epiphone. So no point me talking about the guitars because I'm biased on every freaking front on this. Sorry, Gibson, because they're not the same company. Oh, we're going to do that. Going to do that first take thing where we have to listen to them twiddle their instruments. She's the only one who doesn't have to play a Gibson. I wonder what the deal is with that. Gonna make her a Gibson drum kit, lads. Alright. God, I love that voice. I don't want to be doing the instrument shill thing, but I am loving how clear and clean it sounds. I don't recognise this song, ironically. Oh man, that blue Les Paul. Sorry, I'm not doing the guitar shill thing. Got to give sorry, she goes by name Amy, but I think her name's Chloe, isn't it? She uses both names, I think. Anyway, the bassist is doing some incredible stuff, but her and Kaho, at the moment, that's my favourite thing about the song. Play between the bass and the lead guitar is superb. You can tell they turned up the lead guitar just so you can really get a feel for it. I mean, without remembering the original, it's a pretty decent song. This actually, probably better than a lot of the other Bocchi The Rock ones. I don't dislike the other Bocchi The Rock songs, but none of them are particularly wow. This feels like this is the sort of song I'd definitely come back to more eagerly. Yeah, this is just a much more interesting song after all the shit I said before the video. This little time signature change. I gotta be honest, I'm not a big fan of those the songs that sort of like they go for a time signature change in the bridge and then their way of getting back to the chorus is just to stop and restart. It's okay, but it just feels a little bit of a cop out. But Kaho is like Kaho is just, I used to think about Kaho's playing a song from an anime which is basically focused around the lead guitarist. Kaho's having a good fun. Alright, let's give a little bit of credit where credit's due there. I mean, for a start, the talent on show here, I know I'm a fanboy for at least two of the members and like the other two just for being there, but the talent on the show here is absolutely brilliant. I keep on saying, and I'll try and speed run through the points that you've probably heard me rabbit on about before. Actually, I have some water so I can do that. I keep on saying that when it comes to ASSUN, the reason why she blows me away is, apart from the fact that she has one of the most distinctive and just purely entertaining voices of any lead singer that I can think of, the fact that she also combines that with being a very good rhythm guitarist. You know, often we overlook rhythm guitarists or guitarists in three-piece bands who are also singers because of the fact that we just sort of like focus on the fact they're not going to be playing hugely complicated lead. But she does some really great, intricate work on the guitar. So she's absolutely brilliant up front. Kaho is my example. This is what I consider to be a really great lead guitarist. It's not so much the twiddle aspect. It's not that she's doing anything which is like acrobatic. It's just the pure expression and the ability to move through so many different styles of playing, which is something that she did really well here. I felt like she was moving between a lot of sort of, there were like bar chords in there. There was bits which were slightly more lead focused. Just the whole styles and patterns she was playing were really varied without sort of boringly going through just listing every single thing she played. And I'm sure there's plenty of bits in there that went over my head as well. And the bass, similarly so. Just so much movement on there. Drum work was absolutely brilliant. Also, just all four of them really, really absolutely brilliant. And the thing that I also, as I mentioned before, I do appreciate that this Gibson Epiphone Replay project, whatever the hell you want to call it, has got this quality for me, which is a bit of a best of both worlds thing, where you have the quality of it being them not wanting to put any production on. I love production myself, but it is nice occasionally when everything these days is so produced and has so much mastering. It's nice to hear something which is just very raw like this, but it doesn't have the downside that I often feel we get in a lot of the live recordings that I know people tend to, you know, adore live recordings, but one of the biggest downfalls of a lot of them is the fact that the sound quality is either not that good or it's not very well balanced, and, you know, it just ends up being something where, you know, it sounds raw, but it lacks a lot of the intricacy that comes from the songwriting. Here, you feel like it's very well recorded, so you can hear every detail and every intricacy is beautifully presented to you, but there's nothing thrown on top which feels fake or feels like the artistry came about after the recording. So, yeah, I felt this was a nice balance. It had that good raw feeling, but you really got to hear a beautifully balanced recording of all these extremely talented women. And the song was really good, actually. Is it going to be one I'll go back and replay it over and over again? I don't know. They are called the Replays band, but I certainly enjoyed it. And from the perspective of a Bocchi The Rock song, I think this is definitely the favourite Bocchi The Rock song I've ever heard. And yeah, had like some nice little ideas. I'm big on bridges in songs. As anyone again who's been following this channel for a while know, I felt like the bridge did have it's okay. It's not like a problem, but I just feel it's a little bit of a cop out when you've got a time signature change and then you go into the last chorus by stopping and then we come back. It's like, it feels like you kind of half-assed that change, and that was like a really interesting thing to put in there. The best songs are the ones that can really ramp that up and then throw the change from the time signature change going back from like 3/4 to 4/4, going back from the bridge's time signature to the chorus's time signature, that can wrap that up so it just kind of falls into it. That's when you got a really beautiful ramp up from the bridge to the chorus. This felt okay. It's a commonly done technique. It's a acceptable cop out, but yeah, that was the only letdown of the song for me. Songwriting wise, otherwise, though, the chorus pretty solid. You know, not the most memorable one ever, but definitely I would sing that along very happily. There was really, really cool arrangement stuff happening between the guitar and the bass that I absolutely loved. And the drum work was very sort of fluid as well. So how much of this is writing and how much of this is reinterpreted in the cover version, I do not actually know. I've got to be honest. Like I say, I can't remember the original. It doesn't ring a bell to me. This just felt very fresh, very well executed, beautifully recorded, and done by 4 extremely talented women who just nailed it. Yeah, I really like this. Thought this was great. As usual, therefore, get in the comments, tell me what you think, and until I hopefully see you very soon in Japan for the next one of these. For now, ciao, ciao.